first time I met Nick, I was 3.5. It was late August. We were at the Christiana Hospital, and I was bringing flowers to my mother. For months, my sister and I had been debating long and hard about what to name our new sister or brother. We had finally settled the matter. If it was a girl, her name would be... Big Disney fans in this house. If it was a boy, his name will be, and Brittany and I will say it together, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. I guess our parents had other plans. Because, imagine our surprise when we were introduced to Nicholas Wade. A little conventional for my taste, but something happened to me that day. It's the day I became a big brother, and it is my very earliest memory. It's like, for me, the day Dorothy landed in Oz and suddenly everything turned to color. It's fair to say that my world has been pretty colorful ever since. Hi everybody, I'm Ross. And in case you haven't figured it out by now, I'm Nick's older brother and best man. I was super honored when Nick asked me to be his best man, but to be honest, I wasn't surprised. It is best man, you know? No, I'm just kidding. The truth is, Nick and I have been casually referencing this day for many years, saying things like, when you're my best man. So the fact that this day is finally here feels pretty surreal. You'd think that when you only have one brother, you're sort of obligated to choose him as your best man, but believe it or not, Nick and I actually really like each other too. At this point in our lives, he is my best friend, my closest confidant. But it took us a while to get there. For a long time, I thought that who my brother was a reaction to who I wasn't. From early on, we were different in almost every way. He was fun-loving and funny. I was sensitive and serious. He was carefree. I was cautious. He was an athlete. I was an artist. He idolized Batman. I idolized Britney Spears. He wanted to throw a ball. I wanted to play with Barbies. In school, he was more of a numbers guy. I was good at humanities. My best friends were always girls. Many of them are here tonight. And he was a boy's boy through and through. And popular. God, he was so popular. I remember I used to get so annoyed with him when he would try to tag along with me and my friends. I'd say to my parents, but he has his own friends. Why does he have to steal mine? And they would look at me so lovingly and so patiently and say, it's because he loves you. The truth is, my little brother was all the things I didn't know how to be. Masculine and confident. Hilarious and good at every sport he tried. Because of that, I always feared that I wasn't the kind of tough big brother he wanted or deserved. The kind who would beat him up and throw the football with him. The kind who wanted to play FIFA on the Xbox. And talk to him about chicks. Eventually, I would learn that he was having similar feelings of inadequacy towards me, but this realization would come much later. For a while there, if I'm being honest, we just didn't connect. We grew apart, each secretly coveting what the other had. What we did and still do connect over is the shared love of movies, the shared language of movies. My brother and I can debate about films for hours. We get into long, often heated discussions about things like, who is the definitive Batman? It's Christian Bale. Or what's DiCaprio's best performance? Nick, Wolf of Wall Street? Yeah? We'll talk about it. Or who is the greatest movie duo of all time? He'll tell you it's Clooney and Pitt from Ocean's 11. I'll argue it's Newman and Redford and Butch Cassidy. He'll say, that's interesting. And then we'll posture that Clooney and Pitt really are the modern-day Newman and Redford, and we'll pat ourselves on the back for having made such an astute connection over time and culture. Now, you may be wondering what I'm getting at, so I'll get to the point. I can mark the most meaningful shift in my relationship with my brother to the beginning of his relationship with Jill. The first time I heard Jill's name was in the summer of 2019. We were on our annual fishing trip to Canada, and Nick was telling me about this girl. How they were both sort of recently out of relationships, so they were trying to be respectful. I could tell by the way he spoke about her, by the way he lit up from the inside at the mention of her name, that this one was different. In fact, she's kind of all he wanted to talk about. It was clear he was totally smitten. By the end of the week, anytime he was a few whiskeys deep, he would blurt out, almost compulsively, whether that's what we were talking about or not, "I love Jill!" Going on 3.5 years later, and in still any conversation, or randomly in our family group chat, Nicholas will exclaim, "I love Jill." The first time I actually met Jill, I was visiting New York City for work, teaching a few classes while I was there, and Jill came to ride in my class. We exchanged pleasantries very briefly after class, and I didn't see her again until the first time she came home with my brother for Christmas. It's always an interesting test to observe how someone fares in a family setting, and it's not secret that our family can be a lot. We're passionate and affectionate and lively and quick to wrap you in our collective arms and call you one of the family. Jill jumped straight into the deep end. And as the often more quiet observer of the family, it was so fun to watch her loosen up, to drop her guard, and to embrace my family right back. That Christmas Eve party ended with the guitar out and all of us sitting by the Christmas tree singing together, overserved and overjoyed. At some point, Jill leaned over to me and said, "I'm really drunk." I think her family is still a little mad at us for the state we sent her back to New Jersey in. But before they left, I took my brother aside, and without thought or hesitation, I said, "I love Jill." Now, if you've ever witnessed Jill with my family, one of the most amazing things about her is the way she cares for my sister's kids. From day one, she has gotten right in there. She'll hold any kid you put in her arms. She's not afraid to sit and play for hours or to run around the yard with the kids and the dogs. I haven't seen her change a diaper yet, but honestly, she would probably do that too if you asked her to. Wendell is particularly smitten. Whether it's a crush or an infatuation, we're all pretty sure that Jill is Wendell's favorite person. And can you blame him? Not only is she the most beautiful person in every room, she's also the perfect Gwen Stacy to his Peter Parker. She's never above shooting webs and fighting bad guys. Leading up to today, Wendell even thought he was the one marrying Jill. In fact, just last night, he had a minor meltdown because all he wanted was to sit next to Jill on the bus to the rehearsal dinner. Well, I'm the one who ended up sitting next to him. And when I asked him why he wanted to sit with her so badly, you can guess what he said. "I love Jill." So as you can see, this is a family that loves Jill. Now, I may never know what it is about having Jill in his life that makes my relationship with my brother so much better. But I think it's as simple as this, and it's a recurring theme tonight. She makes him better. She makes him a better version of himself. Nick has always been driven and loyal and protective and thoughtful and deeply devoted to family and a million other things that I admire about him. But with Jill by his side, he's a little softer. He communicates better with all of us. He's more understanding. His stress seems eased. And there's a lightness to him that I can only describe as content. He seems more whole somehow, more sure, more satisfied. In one of his most famous works, Symposium, the Greek philosopher Plato articulated a theory about soulmates. He explained that long ago in the age of gods, human beings walked the earth with two heads 4 arms and 4 legs. But fearing their power, Zeus split these beings into 2, condemning them each to wander through many lifetimes, yearning in search of their other half. Their soul's counterpart. Its twin flame. According to the myth, when those 2 halves find each other, there is a silent understanding, and the 2 become whole again. The poets and the playwrights have written about this phenomenon in other ways throughout the ages. Jerry Maguire said, "You complete me." Or, to put it in the terms of my brother's favorite movie, Forrest Gump, Jenny and me was like peas and carrots. It's really not an unfamiliar story if you think about it. A simple guy goes to extraordinary lengths with a hopeless devotion to a beautiful blonde girl whose name starts with J, trying to convince her to love him. Jill, I just want to say thank you for saying yes. And Nicholas, baby brother, little man, I love you. I'm so proud to be your big brother, and I'm so glad you found your soulmate, your twin flame, your peas and carrots. May your love grow from this day forward. May it be both the destination and the way. May you find each other in every lifetime. Now, I'm gonna grab my glass off the floor, and if everyone will raise theirs with me, to toast, to to toast to the newlyweds. On the count of 3, everyone knows what to say. One, 2, 3. We love Jill.